my god. Well, here we are. Once more unto the breach. Once more unto the breach. Hope you guys are having a better Thursday morning than I am. But I'm here. I'm in one piece, more or less. I've taken my pills, my cholesterol pills. And I have a can of Brio, because that's what you should wake up with every morning if you want some more health problems. But Brio cures everything, right? Hey, Lump. Holy moly. Long time no see. How are you? How is your back? I hope it's better? I'm just, backslash problems. Oh, man. I mean, back problems, I know that they don't just get fixed, right? You know? Man. Yeah, like, you gotta do some major stuff with it. Oh, sweet. I sold an axe. Alright, we're... oh, man, you do? Is it something like MS? If you don't mind me asking. I mean, if you don't want to say, don't say, right? Just because I know that kind of stuff, it's painful. I'm just gonna switch over to our bloodthirsty. No, it's literally degenerative joint disease. Wow. I've honestly never heard of that, but it doesn't make it less valid, right? So, geez. Do you know, how did they test for that? Did they test, like, by blood, or was there some other oh, God, I hope they didn't have to, like, poke your spine. Most of my joints are breaking down at a more rapid... Ugh. Oh, an MRI. Well, MRI is okay. There was one test that they wanted to do on me, and I refused. They wanted to do a lumbar puncture. I was like, nope. No, that's okay. I'll pass on that. I will 100% pass on that. MRIs for me, I go to sleep in those things. Because usually it's all up into my head, right? So they put the thing on my head where you can't move your head, and then they put the earmuffs on, and honestly, I just start going to sleep. Because, I mean, yeah, I can still hear stuff, but, because I'm usually in there about an hour, at least the times when I was in there. And I'd be kind of sleepy. Alright, we're doing bloodthirsty. Well, I hope... I mean... so, do you have to take any... I guess you'd have to be on pain pills or something, right? I'm just hoping it's not anything that can get you hooked. Because, I mean, I got my own thing with pain right now, and I am... hesitant to get pain pills because sometimes they can be like you can get hooked on it, right? And they're telling me that maybe I should look at edibles. And I'm like, man, and I know it's no longer like illegal here, but I don't know. Is there a lag on this thing? I don't know. Alright, well, we got 2 wolves here. You have a script for pain meds, but I try not to do. Do you know? Yeah, and cannabis is amazing for pain. Really? Oh, crap. I popped my shield when I should have. Actually, I should probably put my shield here. It helps with depression and anxiety. Well, I can understand the anxiety, but I figure depression, I mean, it, because it's more like a downer, right? And not a downer, but it's more like a relaxant. We just want to tag all the things as much as we can. Hey, Execute, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. We're trying to farm. We've got a full bar of rest XP, but we're gonna do this for about an hour. We'll see if we can get a level in an hour. You just got to be careful here, because well, we missed that one. Because it's possible for us to get too many and then die. So you've had it help. Okay. Well, I mean, they've brought it up as an option, and because it's now legal here, I don't know. I think I'm still stuck in the old way where, you know, I could have done it before when I was younger, and I just chose not to. I guess my drug of choice was beer and stuff. And I am in Toronto. I'm just on the east of it, on the east side. The east side, not in Toronto now, but in the burbs. You're doing good. You just had your last exam yesterday, the easiest one. Oh, nice. I love it when my tests and stuff would be easy peasy. I mean it gets rid of some of the stress that you might have, like, oh my god, you might fail and you put in all this time and blah blah blah, right? Alright, who's this guy attacking? He's not attacking anybody. There we go. There we go. So the reason why I gotta shift my shield is that... you can get out of here. Is that I've been leveling a Kultiran mage, like a normal mage. And my shield, I usually have it on G. But for my iron or bloods and stuff, because you can't do talents and all that, I usually kept my shield up on Q because, well, that was my oh crap button, kind of, right? Even though now, it's not really an oh crap button anymore. Wouldn't hurt to try an editable or something. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it again. Well, yeah, I've heard... I've heard that I should be very wary of how much I eat because apparently, even though it's government run, it could be very strong. So I need to find out from my doctor, or actually from ALS Canada, if I need to get the prescription for it in order to put it on my taxes, because we're allowed to claim any medical expenses against our income taxes, and we already claim stuff that we don't need a prescription for. It's just, you know, with cannabis, you know, it's kind of still touchy here, so I'm not sure. Wow, okay. What's going on here with these guys? Alright, well, let's wait. That guy's not being... Oh, there we go. That guy's being attacked now. Oh, and we lost one there. Oh, well. Let's see. Let's back up. Let's see if one of the guards will attack him. Get out of here. So as soon as they lose like a chunk of health, then you can tag them. Yeah, I'm not sure how much they are. I know that my town voted to not allow weed stores here, but I think I'd be able to go into like a neighboring town and get it because I think their council passed it. Let's get all the way back because oh crap. Hopefully, there we go. Good. Yeah. So our government, they were kind of stupid with it. The federal government passed it and said, hey, at the provincial level, you guys all need to have stores available by X date, or make sure that people have methods of buying weed legally from the government. Now, what our government chose to do, my provincial government, which I'm not happy with, is that they chose to delay weed sites from being made, and they made there be a delay like 8 months or 10 months or something from when you were allowed to buy it, so you could only buy it online. And the other thing was that they made it so that the business that sold the weed was private only, which in our province, we have a liquor control board, and they make a ton of money through taxes as being the only ones allowed to sell booze. And honestly, that should have been the way for pot and stuff too. But for some reason, our government quote said, we don't want to be in the business of selling drugs. And I'm like, so how is booze not a drug? I mean, it's still a drug, right? It drives me crazy. And thinking of the amount of tax dollars that we would have lost, that we could have had, I don't know. I don't think it was the right decision at all. And now that the genie has been let out of the bottle, it would be very hard for them to go back. Let's say like another government got put in and they were like, hey, we are gonna make pot only for sale by government run sites. Very, very hard to go back from that. And man, you can make the same case for tobacco. It such a poor decision. There were previous governments that made it known that they were saying, hey, we might sell off our liquor control board, which is the only place that you can sell booze. And everyone's like, are you insane? You guys make more cash off of that than you do by taxes on people. Like your annual taxes. Are you guys insane? And so they decided, yeah, we're not going to. Yeah, because don't be stupid. Man, this guy just doesn't want that. And they should have looked at that and made the same decision for pot. But, I'm not the one running the country or province, because it's a provincial thing, not a country thing. Anyways, governments were never known for being... Well, I mean, it's funny. Like, sometimes they do things that... Yeah. It makes complete sense. Yes. And thank you for finally, you know, doing X, Y, Z. Right? Hold off on this guy. All right, there we go. Wow, we're 15 minutes in and we have 23%. So I find that these wolves are the ones that come in straight. We know that the fires only show up on this side, so we're not really worried about that. We can tag that, we can tag that. And we'll fear them, we should be fine. It's coming right for us. South Park. So we also kind of, you know, we're gonna get this stupid warg here. Every once in a while, we get the warg that comes in. So this is the only way I think I can level up my bloodthirsty and not go completely insane. Previously, from 1 to 60, we were hunting rares. Because rares give nice, big chunks of XP. Like, huge. This is fantastic. I'll wait for the tag. There we go. This one, it might damage our killing blow percentage. It's possible. Which means we got to be really careful with potentially getting another yellow flag, because if we do, then we're red flagged. Like, if you get 2 yellow flags, you're done. They don't need to be at the same time, but sorry, they do need to be at the same time. So if I get a yellow flag on this character for killing blows, right? As long as I don't get another yellow flag at the same time, then I'm okay. And if I clear it and I get a different yellow flag, or maybe even the same one, then I'm still okay. Okay, here we go. Cool. So notice that the riflemen don't really shoot them for a whole lot. It's the melee guards that actually do more. And the sooner I get the tag on them, the more XP I get. See, for this one here, I got 42. For that one, I got 650. This one, I'll probably get 400 something. 464. See? Because it was about two thirds. Oh, no. Well, we probably shouldn't have got that one, because this guy's coming after it. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, so he got. There we go. We'll probably only get 2/3. 194. But still, it's better than nothing. And I feel like we could do this for sure. From 1 to 80, just as long as I don't get stupid. Because once we're at 80, then we're going to run into problems. I think because this zone was originally meant to be a 70, right? Level 70 to 72. So I think after 74... we could run into the stat squish issue with kills. So I'm going to tag this guy, but keep him out here. We're going gonna leave that warg alone. Oh, nope, nope. We're gonna tag that guy because as soon as a melee guy hits him, he gets hit for a lot, like a metric ass ton, if ever such a thing existed. Where's this guy here? As long as we don't get overwhelmed, I think we'll be okay. Just you can't treat things too lightly. I'm also afraid that Blizzard's gonna see this and be like, yeah, we're gonna nerf the XP gains on this, and then I'm gonna go insane because good morning, Mrs. Charming. Thurs. Damn it, I keep wanting to say Mrs. Riz. Wait, no. I'm a horrible person. I'm sorry. So this is only going to work for us until 80, which is quite a while from now. So, okay, well, we tagged a bunch, so let's see what happens. Okay, that was probably... And I don't have my fear, so we're gonna pop my cooldown and my feed. We'll wait for my cooldown. I can keep putting up my shield over and over again. Okay, we can tag that guy. I can tag that guy. No, we probably should have killed this guy first. Oy. This is what I'm talking about. Getting overrun. So while you think you're safe and it's an easy cheese, there's the potential that it's not. Okay, Murs. Wait, charming. Are you charming though? Are you? Are you? Because when I see that MYRS, it to my eye, I see it as misses, right? Like I do see the Y. Just my brain looks at that and is like misses. So, I don't know. Alright, let's see. This guy gonna... Yes. This guy's coming right for us! Alright. Heal myself up. Oi. Just keep on tagging. Get bonus XP while I deal with this poopy head. You're known as charmed because things just go my way even if it well, that's a good thing. That's really a nice thing to have. Tag, and we will wait on that one. We're gonna tag that guy. Now we'll tag him. Tag. There we go. Wow, we are 50%. 25 minutes. basically gained like half a level in almost half an hour. Hello, Clarky. Good morning. I'll let him beat on me a little bit. There we go. It's gonna let him beat on me while I tag that guy. Oh, God. It's stressful, though, because, you know, we had a little period there where we had to pop... We had to pop our things and stuff in order to make sure that we weren't going to die. And that we weren't going to get into a bad spot. Because if we run away from here, the guards inside the town will not help at all. 100%. So don't even waste your time. It's better to actually remain out here in the hopes that one of these guards will come and help you. This bozo's here. I mean, there's no loot on these guys either, so we might run into an issue where we might have to go to the auction house and actually buy green gear. I mean, I don't really want to. I prefer to save my gold for flying and that kind of stuff. You know, we had a look at rares in Burning Crusade, and no. It was more that we couldn't find them. Oh crap! Well, at least I got 4 XP for that one. Tagged it right as it died. So if we stay out here a little bit more, the guards should be giving us a hand more, no? Yes, they will. Which is what we want. Just as we're out here more, it means that more mobs could come our way and focus on us, and that can be a nerve-wracking time. Oh crap! Get out of here! All right, now here we go. We're gonna get some. I'm hoping. Okay, that's good. Now that they've added the debuff for our shield, like you can't just grab it anymore. Like you can't just keep spamming it over and over again. Unfortunately. Oh, we should kill this one first. Always kill the lower health one because then it's less damage on you. Yeah. There we go. Okay, what are we at? So I said that we're only gonna go to we're only gonna get a level. So we're at 65% in a half an hour. That is pretty good. Much easier than having to go out there and kill small mobs like this, like if I had to kill these mobs over and over again, I just, after going from killing rares to having to kill these things, oh man. Well, here we are where nobody's really, I mean, we got the riflemen, but the riflemen don't really do a lot of damage. It's when they do melee that actually hurts more. See, big chunks go away, so we need them to help out more. Don't know how to do that though. And the other thing, though, too, is that I don't think I would do this ever unless I had rest XP, because I just... killing these things at half the XP? Screw that noise. Come on. What's this disease? Nature damage inflicted, physical damage taken is increased. Ooh. Well, let's get rid of that. Why is nobody helping? Come on. There we go. So I guess I gotta drag them right up into their grills so that they actually don't ranged attack and they melee attack only. So maybe the best spot is like over here. Atonement. Did I do it again? I might have done it again. Tagging too many things? I'm a doofus. It's going right for us. Last night I had to watch the first episode of South Park. Well, not first episode, but the Christmas one where it's Santa versus Jesus. It's been a long time, man. They have changed so much. Oh, crap. Pew. I can't fear them yet. Whoa. Actually, I think this seems to be working out better by fighting them here where the guards should be, because I can tag them and get more XP. Than if I was in between the guard posts. See, now I'm getting low on, or not low on health, but it's, you know, do not like. All right, let's heal ourselves up. Well, we're getting close to a level. So I will attack the one that's attacking me, because I guess I didn't tag that warg. Huh. I did. It's possible he could have reset and then it reset the buffs on him too. Because that does happen, I've noticed. See, like right there? If I had tagged him before, I think it still would have reset because he would have tried to run over there and then run away and evade, and it wipes out all of his buffs. Alright, well, we're pretty close to a level. 85%. 36 minutes. Good lord. And this seems to be the way to go. It's coming right for us. I'm glad you could change your mind and just come over here and hit him in the face for me. Thank you. Oh, oops. I might have hit the wrong button. There. So we're going to check out our killing blow percentage and all that jazz. And they are blowing through our shield pretty quickly too. Well, especially that we have more than one mob on us at any given time now. Oh my god. Flee! I mean, that seems to work out really well, but I can only fear them once every so often, right? Atonement. Okay. Every time you cast a spell, you must say the name of the spell. Shadow word pain. Shadow word pain. God, that get annoying so fast. All right, should be soon. Good lord. So I'm going to heal myself during the fight, but like I know it gives you a dot. But then if you heal yourself outside the fight, there's no dot. Like what the hell, Blizzard? Come on. Don't do that. Please stop doing that. Like I don't mind if certain things act differently for PvP versus non, but having spells act differently if it's in combat or out of combat, I don't know. Like I know that they were trying to nerf disco priests because they were really strong, but I think that healing change was, it's kind of odd. Oh man, we're so close. We need 2 kills, basically. Let's get this guy, and we'll get this guy. This will be our, and we'll get him too, and that guy too. There we go. Yay. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Alright, level 62. Let's post the screenshot. Nope, can't wear that. Although I'm keeping it in case we die, because then I can go and equip it and then learn the appearance. Thank you. Alright, so 62. Jeez. We can go do mana tombs. No, we can't. Well, technically, you could go in and kill the mobs in there, come out, reset, and do it again. I think there's a 10 instance per hour limit, I believe, that Blizzard has imposed. Back at Volgard. Where are we? Volgard. Killing. What are they? Vrykul, right? I thought the Vrykul were like the handmaidens that raise the dead. That I didn't think that the Vrykul were the big guys. I can't remember. Vrykul and Warg. Oh, right. Valkyr. Thank you, Execute. Jeez. Yeah. Okay, so Vrykul. Doing our part in the war against the Lich King. Thank you. Bloodthirsty hits level 62. I like this much better than whatever. It's too much. And Warcraft. And I usually copy what I put in the text just in case if it doesn't go through. And it went through. Okay, so we're gonna go jump on our Pacifist. We'll see if we can get a level. I can't remember where we left off with this one. And we might be able to get a level. Maybe. Cooking. Keep the Agas flowing. Alright. Mild spices. We've already done our fair stuff. So that's done. There's nothing else to do there. Although we could go check to see if there's anything for sale that we didn't already get. Actually, how would I do that? How would I know unless I actually bought the item, went there, and tried to turn in the quest? Like I'd have to go run a script or something. And I don't really want to do that. I think I'd rather go check the auction house to see if is it bright baubles, right? Shiny baubles. Dang it. I think I'd rather just buy it and just keep it for next time. Generally, at this level, all of the cooking and fishing dailies are like you can do them. Not a big deal. There are 2 fishing dailies that will take you to Helm's Bed Lake, which is in the west or eastern portion of Dunmorrow. That if you're lower level, I mean the mobs out there, they only go to level 20, so as long as, like, I'd say if you're 30 and higher, I think you should be okay. Just still be cautious. Like, even still, I'm still cautious with it. Okay, let's show that. Alright, I'm gonna go do the Agas. I have never had it before, but whenever I think of sheep innards, like, I think that part just kind of turns me off the whole thing. I'm sure it's quite good. but I'm also very much about how my food looks and what I think is in it. Okay. There's usually one there. Dose. The guy we need is walking around here somewhere. He'll be around. There he is. And I said every time, this guy must stink if he's got bags of these things on him. Is there another? Maybe one more. We need another sack of oatmeal. And we'll probably be able to get one on our way back. Yeah. Easy peasy, right? Keep the Agus flowing. Right. That's that one done. Whee! Anytime I jump off something, whee! I was thinking that if I acted the same way that my character does, you know, I jump a lot. Man, my legs would be tired. Alright, let's go check the auction house for a moment. We do have mail, so maybe something got sold. We won't post anything new until we've completed our farming for this session. Which again, I like to just do a level so that I find if I play the same thing over and over and over again, I get into this. I don't know. I get either like it's fine for like a week or so, but then I get really bored really quick, and then I don't want to play it. 65 gold. Okay. Let us see what the auction house has. So that's why I also try to I switch it up. Buy and DF. Try and switch it up so that I'm not doing the same thing over and over. 332. Nope. All right, we should wait then, I guess. Well, obviously we can't sell anything, or we can't buy anything yet, because the Dark Moon Fair is up, so this is probably not the best time to buy anything. I remember there was one item that we had that when we were looking for other items to buy, the item that we had was listed at, I want to say 1,500 gold or 16, and I was like, okay, because the other items we didn't have were listed lower, so I sold one of the things that I had, and it sold. I was very surprised, and with that, I used it to buy the other ones I didn't have, and I bought like 4 of them. That's why this fair round has been very good for us. We got basically 3 or 4 extra quests that we wouldn't have gotten if we didn't sell that one piece. So while I do want to buy all the things, I will keep an eye out for things that we could sell. And I think it just happened that I had that one because I bought too many. Because I bought it and put them all in the auction, all in my bank, and when I went to go back and check again, I was like, oh, I don't have this, and I forgot that I had everything not in my bags. So when I bought them, I then realized, oh, wait a second, hey, look in my bank, I've got duplicates now. So I sold the dupes, and it turned out pretty good. And we're not getting any nodes showing up here. Why? LB better not be out here getting my nose. There we go. I don't think we can get that one right. We can't get that one until we go around. And we'll go get these ones first. One is on the ground. It is on the ground. So don't worry, we'll get that after. Oops. Oopsie. We have a method.
Frogger2 cheered for
Who
1
knows
bit.
where LB
Who knows where LB is?
Hello, LB. Are you working? I would assume you're working. Good morning, LB. Here. So we got here. Today we have a pretty cool day. It's only plus 13. See, we are kind of in this weather now where it's warm enough to open up the windows and doors, but it's still cool enough that it will set off our heating system. So you have to switch it off, right? Last day of the week for you? Oh, cool. It's always good when you get the Friday off. Do you work on Saturdays and Sundays? Like, I know that you guys have mail on Saturday, right? Or do you usually get those two off? Okay, so I'm a little cautious around these because we were just on a bloodthirsty and tagging the crap out of everything. This is one of the reasons why I typically do not like to play bloodthirsty and a pacifist on the same day, because I might be in the frame of mind that I want to kill all the things still, right? And usually we do the pacifist first, but today I felt like I wanted to do bloodthirsty. Yes, you work 5 out of 6 Saturdays. Why is it gonna be 5? Why is it gonna be so complicated? That was one of my big reasons for getting out of the retail, like actually in the site store kind of thing. When I moved to the home office, I was like, I don't mind to work in there. It's just, we live our lives 2 to 3 weeks at a time, right? Like, you can't plan for anything beyond that. And they were like, yeah. And so I'm like, well, because, we've got a house, we want to start a family, and makes it a lot harder to do that when you don't know what your hours are a month from now, right? So you don't know if you can go do XYZ, and if you might have a baby appointment, right? So thank goodness I got into the home office. Now that wasn't the only reason why they hired me in there, but I was very grateful that they did hire me in, because I did a lot of work that was really cool, that I really enjoyed. It's not that complicated. Not that complicated. Just have an off day that moves one day. But oh, right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that. So, but is your off day? Okay, so your off day, you're still getting 2 days off a week, right? It's just that one of them moves and the other one is Sunday, correct? So for instance, on Saturday, you'll be working. And it's only once every 6 weeks that you get a true weekend, right? Where you get back-to-back days. Where's that rabbit? Ugh. Can't see anything. Okay, the rabbit is here. There he is. He's coming right. Look, he's heading right for the herbs. You bugger. So I run the server, right? So I run the server. You know, it's the only one in the entire world. I run it. That's why things run so crappy every once in a while. So I run the Wow Chow Ninja's site, and on the same server I also have a hotkey sim that I've had running there for, so not on this server, but I've been doing the sim since 2005. I think we've been at DreamHost since, I don't know. Right, there's nothing here. Since good 5-6 years now. Because we needed something that was bigger and better because we have a whole lot of traffic and all that. So the server is supposed to have its own memory management. And for the most part it does. It kind of does what it's supposed to do, kind of, except it ain't perfect, that's for sure. If you've seen some of my tweets lately, you know what I'm going to talk about. That wolf kind of freaked me out a little bit. So what the server is supposed to do is that it will, when people use a use one of the sites and go and look at a page, or the server needs to go do a database lookup, or we run a job, and we do run a lot of jobs, to go ping all the characters to see where they are. What it's supposed to do is that it's supposed to free up old stuff that isn't being used and replace it with the new stuff, right? So it's supposed. So we have 8 gigs of RAM on this server, and that is more than enough. Now the problem is that it doesn't always let the old stuff go, and so it keeps it, and then it's like, well, I have no more memory to, do X, Y, Z, and I just realized, I'm like, okay, listen, I know that it's a memory problem, and it says that it's crashing a table, but it's actually not. So I finally realized that it's just not deleting the old stuff. And because it's not doing that all the time, or it's not doing it the way that it should be, it's saying that there's not enough space to run things, right? And that's bull, right? Because I know right now the site's not being used, right? Or the site's being used, but there's stuff there from 3 weeks ago. Why is that, right? So I put in a single line of code to say delete anything that's over an hour old. Okay? Man, I have not had a single job fail, no errors, nothing. Everything is running so smoothly. Oh God. I'm thinking, you know what? It took me, 6 years of being here at this host to kind of figure this out. Yeah, I can't rely on the operating system being as efficient as it's supposed to be. So I had to take that on myself. And it's such a simple little thing. It's literally one line of code. It makes me laugh, but it also it drives me nuts. You know, just stuff like that. Like why is it got to be like that? Why? Like why does it require me having to do that when the operating system says it should, and it should, but it doesn't. I mean, it does sometimes, but not all the time. And that's where we run into the problems. Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy. We need like 2 more nodes. Wait, we're getting like 1450, so 2 nodes. 2 nodes. Not like codes in the node. I got a code in the node. 2 herbalism. Oh my, here we go. Here's 1 more. We'll get them over. Oh, poor water strider. Every time I look at this, I think of moon. Okay. Hey, I think we got a good action shot there. We're gonna go get this one, and we're gonna. Oh man, there's like 2 set back to. Wow. Did we run out of our rest XP? We just ran out of our rest XP. That's perfect. Perfect timing. So I just wanted to share the server thing because it's been one of the things that kind of bugs me, that I get these error reports and I'm like, there shouldn't be any problems. Like the code is fine. Like why are these things having problems? And then I don't know what it was. I just had this thought of, hey, let's go check to see what's in the temp directory. Yeah, there's stuff like weeks old from when I last rebooted the server, because I was thinking that I might have to do a weekly restart, and even then it wasn't working because these errors could come up after like two or three days of the server being up. So like a weekly reboot's not good, and honestly I feel like a website shouldn't need to reboot it all the time. I mean, if you're doing a game site, well, maybe, sure, but we're not. Our site should never be down. So now that I have this thing in place, oh man, man, tell Blizzard so we can play on Tuesdays. No, well, I mean, it's a game, right? So you gotta, so you know what? Good morning, Tiber. The reason why Blizzard takes their servers down is that they do jobs to update their databases, which I do. It's just I don't take the servers down because they happen so fast, because our databases are small, right? But Blizzard, yeah, I would love to be able to not have downtime. So, they take the servers down so that they can run repair and optimization jobs on the databases, and then once they're done, then they bring servers back up. I mean, lately the downtime has been 15 minutes tops, which actually we're on Thursday, so if you're looking for the Void Talon, your hunt sorry, your hunt began nearly 2 hours ago. Right? Okay, so we're gonna go and list some of these. Let's see what we can get. Swim speed, maybe. Let's see. That would be nice if somebody bought those off us. Wow. Oh man. Wait. The deposit cost just insane. Are they not? I thought they were trying to fix this stuff. This thing doesn't sell. That should be it. The rest we can sell. Don't tell me when my hunt began. You don't know me. Well, I know that. Well, dude. If you go hunt for the Void Talon before 8:15 on Thursday, you're wasting your time because it could never spawn. And I do know you somewhat. Where the fish head? I don't want to. Sorry. Alright, we're gonna do some mount runs. So we're at level 46. Oh, we didn't do our there we go. Our action shot. There we go. Action shot. As our challenges, Pacifist hits level 46. And Warcraft. That's fine. Set. I think they've fixed Twitter. I remember back in BC, the first time I had a Tuesday off, I'm on my guild webpage going, oh my god, they broke the game. Ah, yes. I didn't know Tuesdays were a thing until I was in Wrath, honestly. I mean, I did play, but I wasn't on, I guess, enough that it mattered. And it wasn't until we had raid, and it wasn't until in Wrath when I began to raid that I knew that was the day, right? Okay, so we're gonna do some regular mount farming. Wow, what? They're like children. Yeah. When somebody told me it, I was like, well, what do you mean? Oh, it's like that every week? They're like, yeah. Oh. This was actually the same guild that got me to not use my mouse for clicking my buttons. Wow, LB. Wow. What are you wowing? Hello, Wolfhouse. Well, let's do these auctions then first, and then we'll head out to do our things and stuff. Because so there's one part where I was the off tank, right? Well, I was the second off tank, so I was like the third tank, but I usually off tanked because the other off tank was starting to not show up, and so they knew that that's what I had come into the guild as, so I was tapped all the time, which is fine. I love to tank. I love to tank now. I really do. Just some people don't like to tank with me, which is fine. So just let y'all deal with it the way you want to deal with it. Anyways, so they found we were doing oh god, what boss was it? It was in Nax, and I made a comment where one of my action buttons had moved. Like I said, well, I clicked on my taunt, but I moved it and dragged it off of my bar, and then I couldn't taunt after, so I kind of screwed up. Sorry, guys. And they were like, wait, hold on. Wait a second. What do you mean you clicked it? Like, well, like I clicked it and it moved off. And they're like, well, you didn't lock your action bars? I'm like, no, because I like to be able to move things around depending on the fight, right? And they're like, okay, so when you move, how are you moving? And I'm like, well, with the arrow keys. And they're like, so when you do shield bash, because I was on a warrior, how do you do that? I'm like, well, which key is that assigned to? And I'm like, well, 4, right? And they're like, well, but are you clicking it or are you pushing the 4 button? And I'm like, I'm usually clicking it because my hands are on the keyboard arrows, and my other hand is on my mouse, so they're kind of side by side. So I kind of had everything like here, right? Whoops, hit the mic, it's pro. And then they're like, hold on, you're not doing WASD? I'm like, what the hell is that? I had no idea. Man, they would not stop. So eventually I figured it out, like how to do it and how to set up my keys and stuff. And what I did is something that I actually do right now even. Here, I'll hide the UI and you can see. So if you see my UI right here, this part actually it's a little bit different because before this was based on my keyboard, now this is based on my gamepad. Okay, so these buttons here are my gamepad buttons. So I can look, so I do look at them, but I know what's where, and then by looking at the position of it, I know which button to hit, right? So I did something similar like that for learning how to do WASD stuff. And it took me, I guess, like a raid to get fully comfortable with it, because by the time that they found out, we were kind of done with Nax. I think the rest were okay, so you can sell the rest. So I think by the time we got through, I think maybe half of Old Duar, I think I was pretty comfortable with it, and I used a similar thing where I have the mouse wheel bind and the shift mouse wheel bind. All right, I think we're gonna do the warlord stuff first. I just kind of feel like I want to do that first. I don't know if we'll do. I guess we'll do Rukmar first. Come on. You think you can. I know you can. I know you can do it. Stop thinking about it. And just load. Come on, mate. Or maybe it's like, oh, Void Talon portals. It's having a hard time loading the Void Talon portals. Maybe you can teach Apollo. He still clicks spells. Oh, man. And if you're looking for Rukmar, just aim for that spire. Right there. Get his spawn point. I have to say that I am so glad that I changed over. It makes my life a lot easier. I was actually starting to get muscle fatigue with my hands, because I'm just doing the keyboard. I'm just doing the keyboard arrows, and my hands are like doing like this claw thing, and it becomes like a tiresome thing, right? So when I changed to the keyboard, oh, my hands felt so much better, or at least my left hand did. And then I actually was in Phalanx of Nod. I think Lou got a gamepad, and I never had one before, and I knew that my hands were getting sore just dealing with the keyboard, and I find that the gamepad was much nicer design, I guess, and fit for my hand, so I don't get as tired as quickly. I think if I had not changed, I would be in a bad spot. Just being able to having to click spells, doing a raid has improved. I have improved a whole lot doing a raid. Oh, he just died. We just missed him. Well, 15 minutes, right? So let's screw that. Let's go to Hellfire. Set a 14-minute timer.
Sure, 14 minutes. Starting now.
Okay. This should give us a good rundown of. I think we should be able to do the 2 raids. So we have to do Hellfire and Warlords, Blackrock, and then get back here. I think we can do it. And if not, then we're going to be waiting around for a little bit. It's improved my gameplay a whole lot, right? And I guess if I wasn't raiding, I don't care, right? I mean, if you don't raid, and if you're rating something higher than LFR, then you should probably switch. I guess it depends on your raid group, right? If you guys know that you're only going to push into normal and that's it for that tier, then yeah, I think maybe you can get away with only clicking. But if you're doing anything higher, I think the response time of having your finger on or very close to that button is better and quicker than having to move your hand and then click, right? I mean, yes, you might need to move your finger and then push, but I think the response time is less than moving your hand and mouse and clicking. Because you also, when you're moving your hand and clicking, I think you need to look to see, well, did your mouse land on the right button to click, right? Whereas your hand, over a certain period of time, you just know, right? And depending on the fight, like, I don't need to look at certain things. I just know where they are. Whereas if you have to click around, you might need to look to be like, oh, I need to taunt right now. Then you gotta make sure that you've moved all the way over from like 6 to 7, 6 to 1 or something, right? So I think if you're doing heroic or higher, you should probably too much time not looking at the ground around you. Yeah. I mean, even now, I still have a hard time. I have such a hard time with the lightning bolts. I think last night was a better night, where by the end of the night, I finally got the hang of the single moving lightning bolt things. I finally got the hang of it. We're not going to bother using cooldowns. Oh, well, no, we can use our army because that will reset, but we're not going to use our apocalypse or anything like that. Just want to make sure that we've got it for next fight. Ow! Why? There we go. Okay. 10 minutes. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I did notice that he does get killed a lot. I mean, I get killed a lot, right? So I don't know if I should be one to talk, because I feel like I get killed a lot, and you know, the times where I don't die, yeah, I'm usually up into like the top 4 or 5 now. I used to be the top 1 or 2, but I just, this expansion, I don't know. I don't feel like grinding away on mythics over and over again for maybe a good increase. I don't. Couldn't solo run Cahoon Orb. Oh, I see. Right. So this one, we don't bother. Okay, here we go. Now we do all the things. Pop everything that we got. Yay. Alright. Come on, mount. Come on, mount. That would be funny if we got the mount, and then I wouldn't, then we had before 8.2 fix the Hellfire Assault. No. 29 attempts. It's okay. It's 1 in 100, so it's not a big deal. It will happen eventually. I wonder if somebody bought Apollo like a gamepad, if you would use it. Alright, we're going to Blackrock Foundry. We have 7 minutes. I don't think we're gonna have time. I think that thing's gonna spawn, and I think what's gonna happen is that, you know, it's gonna take about 3 minutes to get there. A direct course. I think it's going to take about 3 minutes for us to get there. Well, no, sorry, 1:42, 1:40. Run in, have to kill what's her face. So unfortunate, like if we, oh, you know what? Do I have my? Oh, I didn't keep it on me. Dang it. So, you know, you have the other hearth, right? It's the oil, sorry, it's like the shipyard hearth. Because I was going to say, you know, if we could hearth out, then we could get there in time and kill Rukmar before he spawns. I wonder. So, actually, I wonder if it might be faster. 6 minutes. If we do a regular hearth, run to our bank, grab the anchor or thingy, and use that, and then fly. I wonder if we would get there in enough time. We have just under 6 minutes. around here. There she blows, Captain. Okay. You're on Mythic. Run. Come on. Come on. Right. We might just power our way through these and not bother wasting time trying to sneak. So, for instance, here. And here. Oh, crap. There we go. There we go. Actually, that worked out pretty good. Go, go, go! Go, go, go! Yay. So I have a talent that lets me kill them from, or hit them from far away. And I like it. I like it a lot. Come on. When you're in a rush, right? Here we go. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. I don't know. So we're at Hearth, go to our bank, grab the anchor or the shipyard thing, equip it, use it, and hopefully get to Rukmar in time before he spawns. Man, that's gonna be tight. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah! Go, 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 go! Loot him! Loot him! No mount. It's okay. Go, 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 go. 240. Holy crap. Go. Go to the bank. Go to the bank. Load the pay. Load the screen. Oh my god. Loading screen. To the bank. Should probably keep this item with me now. This is, oh my god, running up against the wall. Where is it? Miscellaneous weapon. No, no, this one. Go, go. Yeah, 2 minutes. Oh my god, how are we gonna make it? Load the shipyard. Go, go. Where's Rukmar's temple? There it is. Go, go. Okay, we got minute 30. Oh man, it says a minute 7:06 to get there. I think we should be able to get there in time. I think so. Oh my god. I'm looking for the Void Talon portals. There should be one there. But we're not going to waste our time with that right now. Probably go do the panda ones, and then I don't know. We might jump on our Earth and Ring character and do the mythic Blackrock, but then also do Void Talon hunting for viewers. People here in the chat, see if I can find one. 23 seconds. But I also set it to less than a minute, or like a minute less than when he was supposed to spawn, right? So, oh my god. So I feel like we should be able to get there. Oh, Jesus, just as he spawns. Oh, what? Did we just miss him? No. Because even if somebody didn't loot him, I mean, he is in the same spot, but if somebody didn't loot him, he should have despawned by now, right? This is why mount hunting sucks ass. Mount bounty, no problem. For the kids' yearbook, they're like, you need to get your yearbook photo or purchases in by the end of the week, which is tomorrow. Otherwise, you ain't getting one. Well, we gotta buy 2 because one for each of the boys. We should actually probably buy 3, but we didn't. We've only bought 2. Excuse me. And, because one is for one boy and one's for the other. And in hindsight, I think I would have liked to have kept one for us as well, so that they can have theirs and then we can have our own and not worry. Yeah, see it despawned. Man. Well, we'll be here for a little bit, at least 10 minutes. What do you think we should do? Good morning, Zorts. Ow. Good morning, Zorts. I can turn off the macro. And turn the macro back on. Boy. How are you doing this morning, Zorts? Bam, bam, bam. Given everything going on, okay, I guess. So, do you know or not? Like, are you like you know that things are changing, but you don't like? Do you really know it's going to affect you? Have they come and said anything, or is it like, yeah, you know, because it's happening to like everyone else right now or something? It's not going to be for a couple months before anyone is let go. Like, but have they actually said that, you know, because they're outsourcing or whatever their stuff, that they're like, yeah, we're letting some of you go? Or is it just, you know, that they're outsourcing, so you know that you're pretty much going to be let go because there's not going to be a job, right? I'm just curious if they've actually had a talk with you all. Also, Zorts. Here. This is Brio. this. So go find yourself a can of this. Whoop, this way. Cures everything. I did not make it in time. Apparently, it despawns more than a minute after it gets killed. So the 14-minute timer was no good. It's probably more like 13 or 12. I should have done that, and then by that point, I mean, like we got here and we watched it actually despawn. So now there's people who are sitting there and waiting for it. So probably, I think in the grand scheme of things, we probably saved a little bit of time, right? Because the other one we didn't see it despawn, and this one we did, and there was no one else there, so I think we saved like a minute. So, you know, that's looking on the bright side of things, right? We saved a minute. So I have a macro set up to target any of the Mists or Rookmar world bosses, and to hit it with my Outbreak, which is a instant cast kind of deal, and it's a 40-yard range, I think, right? 30-yard range. I have it bound to my keyboard to run my 6 key. It's this one. You can barely see it, but it's this. If you look down here, it's at my 6. It's on my 6 key, and I have my keyboard set up to just spam the crap out of it. So it sets it. It uses it once every. I think it goes 4 times a second. I think that's what I have it set to. So it's at 250 milliseconds. This music is Caverns of Time. Caverns of Time. Opening of the Dark Portal. Black Morass. Yep. Black Morass. I played Warcraft 1 and I didn't really like it as much, because the first time I ever played any kind of a WoW game was Warcraft 2. So I didn't play Warcraft 1 until I got used to Warcraft 2 and even the expansion, right? And my friend had Warcraft 1 and I went to go play it. I'm like, oh yeah, Warcraft 2 is way better. That's what really got me into playing WoW. Was Warcraft 2. Warcraft 3 I didn't get into as much. Warcraft 2 was my thing. And Diablo 1. We were buggers in that game. We were not so nice. There were hacks to kill people up in town. There's like the town portal kill or something like that. So and then there was another thing that we do is that we create groups, and we'd set it for low level characters. Like we'd say, hey, we're trying to level up, except that we were high level, and what we would do is that we would create a town portal that would go from town to wherever we were. Now, because we were such high level, even creating it on a low level map, like let's say, right, the mobs couldn't kill us, right? So what we'd do is that we'd round up all the monsters on that map and bring them over to the town portal, so that when somebody joined the game, they would go into the portal and get killed because they were likely at let level, whereas we were not. There were a few times we had people join that were same let level of us as us, and then they were like, haha, I know what you're trying to do, and we were bastards. You didn't do this in hardcore. No. We didn't do hardcore mode. But I know that in Diablo 1, you could loot their gear. And Diablo 2, I think the biggest exploit there was there was like a duplicate potion one, right? Because that was when you had to create potions, like potion after potion after potion, because you would need to have them. Like, it's not like it is now, right? Like in D3, where it's just Q is your potion, or Q is my potion button. But, you know, I was a stupid teen, and I was such an asswipe. I would say that if I were the people in that group, I would have reported us for sure. And I would imagine they did, but nothing ever happened to us. Now, we didn't do it all the time. Just, like when we get bored. And, terrible. Because wasn't it Diablo 1, if you died, you lost your equipment and half your gold? So then you'd have to go run back and get all, and actually click on where your dead body is and go and retrieve everything. However, if you were in the same party, you could grab it for your friend and bring it back to them. However, we're not friends with them, right? Yeah. And I know we did that a couple times. I didn't feel good because I'm like, because I mean, they were obviously very mad because we would go and loot their stuff and then kick them from the group because it was me and my friend, and we would limit it to only 3 people, so we were always in charge. Bad. I would never ever even remotely do that now. There's just I mean even if I could get away with it, no. At some point between back then and now, I grew up a little bit. Terrible. And about the only thing I do now that I don't know if I really feel super good at is what I'm doing right now. Is that because hitting the key over and over is going to wreck my hands. I like I said, I've created a macro to target the boss and attack him, which is okay. But I've also bound the number 6 button for that macro, but got the keyboard to repeat it, right? So I only do it for when I sit there to try to tag them out. I don't do any other kind of automation. I have to imagine that most people who play online games have gone through the troublemaker phase. Yeah. And I try to give a grain of salt to some of the young kids that we may have now, because, you know, I feel like a lot of us went through all that stuff, but sometimes it can be very hard for me because I have no patience. I lost my patience when I worked in retail. The general public, that by itself, I worked in it for only 3 years until I moved up to the home office. But those 3 years, actually 3.5, well, 4 years, 3 different places. So, but it was 3 years at this one place. That's what's soured me, and dealing with the general public. See right there, done, and I turn it off because as long as I tagged it, then I'm okay. All right, and no mount. Okay, so we're gonna go to Pandaria. Sorry, Ninja AFK for coffee. Depending on how many of the more senior guys take the severance. Okay, it's pretty much going to determine if we stay or go. Once we know what the full pallet business will be. Okay. Well, I would tell you to come up north here if we had tons of jobs, but I feel like we don't have tons of jobs either. Right, Pandaria. Pandaland. It's funny, like if I don't know. See, okay, so it's different from meeting someone new versus lumping everybody in as that general public thing, right? Wrong way. When I can put a name to the person, then you no longer become like the general public, right? The only reason we're not getting shut down completely is we're attached to the ice cream plant. Like I said, if I thought that there were tons of jobs up here, I'd say, like, come up here and visit. But you probably end up paying a lot more in taxes. A lot more in taxes. Might have to let you meet my friend Ivan to set you up with everything you need. Let's see how long it takes for this guy. It's raining. Oh, there's thunder. Lightning. Well, there's people here, so that's good. Let's stick the macro. Once I know what's happening, if I'm one of the guys letting go, I'll see about moving over to the... Oh, I thought... Sorry, I began to read, like, moving up here. I'm like, oh my god. Moving over to the production side and inspect ice cream cones all day. Oh my god. Dude, I would want to eat them. I had a QA job, like I think I told you guys, I had a QA job once for a company that basically resold fridges and stoves and all of that stuff. So one of mine was I had to inspect a batch of microwaves, and so what we were supposed to do is take 2 or 3 off the pallet of like 12 and plug it in and run a test and use like this little Geiger counter around the outside of the thing to see if there was any radiation leaks. And so I found some, and if you find 3 in a pallet, it means that the whole pallet needs to get sent back. Okay. So when I told my boss that, you know, hey, I found 3, so this whole skid is like not so good, he called the head of the company who came on down, used the thing, goes, no, that's fine. And I'm like, but the guidelines you gave me were like, if it's over a certain point, like that one is physically not good because it's radiation, right? And he did it for all 3, and he said no, they're fine. And I was like, I know, like you don't have to push buttons. You just plug the thing in and switch it on, and take like a little device. It's about half the size of my phone, and run it along the door, where the door connects to the actual unit, and make sure that there's a good enough seal that no radiation is coming out. Or if there is, it's got to be, it can't be past a certain point. So I'm doing it, and I'm looking, and yeah, it's like way over. All 3 of them. And he's like, no, it's fine. You can ship them out. So that was week 2. And my 3rd week, I spent doing testing CDs. CD Walkman player, like those ones, like the smaller ones, right? What the hell are they called? Discmans, right? That had come back in that people said were not working, right? So I have to go and do all that. But during that week, I was like, yeah, I don't want to work here. I just, this place is no good. I mean, if they're willing to still send out a pallet of stuff to be sold, even though it clearly broke their rules. I mean, besides it hurting other people, if they've got different rules for different employees, I mean, it's kind of weird, right? And it also makes me think, I mean, yes, I was only there for 2 weeks by that point, so they want to go and check my stuff. But if they don't trust that I'm not fulfilling, hey, you need to test it for a certain amount by a certain level. If they can't trust you enough, which, I think the trust needs to be earned, so 2 weeks is not enough time. But for them to go back and say, no, it's fine, I just, if I brought something else up, are they going to say, no, it's fine too? And I mean, I just don't want to be involved in that kind of thing, right? Where somebody could get hurt. And I've said my part, but I feel like I might be adding to the problem if I am still there, right? So week 3, while I was doing CDs, I went to go look for another job. Then I got a job at Jack Astor's, which is a restaurant, and working as like a sous chef. That's the position. And people got mad at me because I made more than them. And it's like, well, because I'm doing more. My position requires me to do more, so that's why I'm getting paid more, dummies. But we got hired at the same time. Yeah, but I'm doing more than you. So, yeah, I'm getting paid more. And then that was when I learned, don't talk about how much you're getting paid at work. Because it gets everybody all pissed off. Yeah. Jackass stirs. Yes. And actually, the image of the logo of it is a jackass. It's one of these places that's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of place, like, oh, we're being jackasses, come and eat our food. Come on. I wonder if we're not even gonna get these done in time. Actually, wait. There's like an hour to go. I wonder if we're not going to be able to get Blackrock Foundry on our Earth and Ring character. I was hoping to do a Void Talon portal check, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not today. Oh my god. Sorry for cleaning the eye boogers out. I feel so tired. I actually had to have a shower this morning, just before the kids left, because usually I have a shower in the morning, like after the kids are gone, But I woke up and I felt like just garbage. And usually a shower will kind of pep me up, but I think it's wearing off. Welcome back, Zords. Welcome back, Zords. It feels so weird listening to this, but being in Pandaland. I think I'm actually going to open up the window a little bit. I think I'm getting hot, which and the cat will be here soon. Bob will be here soon because he's heard the window, so he's going to be like, oh, window. So you might hear some outside sounds. So he'll be like, oh my god. Let's see how long it takes him. I should have timed it. Do a timer. Start stopwatch. We'll see. Wow, LB. Will you still call me hot when I shave my beard and my head? This Carrie is still getting on my case about the hair looking like a clown. And it's like, yep. No, maybe he's just sleeping and he's like, no, I'm not dealing with this. So at the end of the month, Lita and I are planning to do a Iron Elite call-in show. Not really sure how we're going to do it. I added a couple channels in there, see if that's a good way of dealing with it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we're going to deal with it. I think overall... See, here's the thing, is that we use Discord, right? And I think we'd have to create, or I would have to create another account. And I don't know if I can have two instances of Discord running on the computer at the same time, like on my PC at the same time, right? So, like, the whole idea is that I was thinking that maybe we could all sit in there into the chat. However, oh, man, excuse me. Is that if we're doing video, which I think the video would be myself and Lita. I don't. Well, here we go. I don't know how that would work. I think what we might have to do is like bring people into the private call, but then we're gonna screw up how the overlay works. You have Discord on my phone and TV. Have a waiting room and then just bring people into your call. Yeah, but how do I get Lita's image, right? Like, because we have her cam, right? And in a Discord chat room, like, you can't have... Well, yes, I can keep the overlay. So this is what I'm thinking, is that I would have to have another account. I'd have to have... Yeah, I think I gotta have another account that I could bring in... Could bring into the channel, but how does the channel? See, the problem is that you can only be a member of one channel at a time, right? Like, you can't be in more than one. And I think that's the issue is the way that I was thinking of it is that we'd have another account in the podcast voice room and the actual call. Loot? Oh. Well, we got a transmog appearance, so that's something. Oh, I hear somebody stirring. He's probably like, I smell outside. So the other thing is that, you know, we could just have a separate overlay, separate scene, where it would work really well if we could get an account, like one account to be in two different things. Oh, Bob's here. He hasn't jumped up yet. He's like, is it open? I think it is. He's probably like, he probably just got up and he's like, too tired to jump up. Oh, there we go. Stop. 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Then that doesn't count all the time. A little bit before that we didn't count, that we didn't like track. So let's say like 5.5 minutes until he realized, hey, I should Well, technically no, because how I have it set up is the audio that I have on my side goes into the Discord call, so that when I play stuff, when I play like a bumper or I do anything on my computer, the people on the call can hear it. So, but they have to be in that call, not necessarily in another channel. I don't know how. So we're looking at trying to do these once a month, but I'm not sure about this month how well it's going to go. Oh, no. Yeah, So, the idea, I got this idea from the starting zone, and I asked them if, you know, can I steal this, and they're like, yeah, go for it, because they actually took it from the Angry Chicken or something. I'm like, okay, because I thought it would be a neat thing to do if folks wanted to come on. And if people don't want to come on, I think we were going to see if anybody had questions that they might want to ask, or we were going to pose a question once a month. And then if not, it's just going to be me and her, and we'll just chat, which we've done before, so it's not a big deal. But we wanted to give the opportunity, and I thought that would be a nice little perk for being a Iron Elite. To come on every once in a while. Now, it doesn't mean that we can get everybody on, but you know, and we have to make sure that we limit the amount of time, because we do need to be aware of time, right? So so when I watch their shows, when they do these call-in shows, both of the people, like both of the hosts, are on the screen, but the third person is not. So I feel like they have a third account, but I'm not sure how they're piping the audio in. I wonder if it's like a virtual audio device. Or if it's like a networked audio device or something. Because if we can get that bot account, I guess, into the chat with me and Lita, then we should be able to get the audio to go two ways. Or wait, if it's not even... See here, when someone calls you up on Discord and they use a... Well... See, even if they don't go video and they only go audio, right? They will still take up real estate on the screen. And because I'm taking Lita's cam off of the actual call, it could shift it around. Yeah, for sure we're not doing webcams. 100%. For the people that are going to call in, it's going to be audio only, and that's it. I'm just struggling on figuring out how to pipe the audio in to Lita and I's channel, like our personal call. Like we don't even use like a channel on this server, we just do a personal call, right? So if I had an account, if I created a bot account, let's say we use Carrie's account, we put it into the server podcast voice channel, which I just created earlier this morning. If we did that, how am I getting the audio? Like, I think I would be able to pipe that audio in and out from Voicemeeter. But I don't think I can run Discord more than once on a computer, right? Like, I don't think I can get another version of Discord to run. Oops. No, that's my Carla. I don't want that one. Why did... Oh, I know why that. Because I'm doing this stupid thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I run Discord again, it just does nothing, right? Because it's sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, Layla. Also, good morning. I think I might have to set up a networked audio stream. So, for instance, Carrie's computer Carrie's got her own account, right? So we could set up an account on there and potentially connect to a specific IP address to pipe the audio in to a virtual place here on my computer that would already get piped into Discord. There's this VBAN, right? Is virtual audio network config. Which I'm looking at it right now. You guys can't see it, but let me add a screen. See? Okay. Yeah. And I think so too. But I need to think about it and make sure it's good, right? It's down there. Yeah. Okay. So for me, this is my mic, so I talk and you see this move. These are my games, so if I want to increase sound, right? So I usually keep it pretty low. But this is all of my Discord chat is coming in. But it's going out on B2, which is this one. My VLC and which is my bumper and all that stuff. That's coming in to, and that's what Discord people can hear. So, sorry, Discord people can hear anything coming in on the B1 line. So this one. So if I were to mute this and you were on Discord with me, you don't hear anything. So, oh man, I don't think it's an easy thing to do. I don't think it's a matter of, oh, just do this. I really don't think so. Because the other option is that Lida and I go get Zoom, right? And go get a different video calling thing. And I just use her camera from that. And then we all go jump into the Discord podcast room. Done. Right? Because I think Zoom is free, right? Zoom is free if it's for a certain amount of people. Like if you want more than I think 4, 5, then you need to pay for it. Anyways. But Zortz, it's yes, that works if I can get Lida's video from something else. Right? That's the problem. Is Lida and I already use Discord for our call, and that's where I get her video from. So when people join and leave, it screws up the positioning of where her video is. So it means that we do need to create an audio-only channel, which we've done. So yes, I agree that we could probably just use the Discord audio channel for us and maybe everyone, but then we'd have to go use something like Skype, which I don't want to use, or Zoom, which I've had only a small amount of experience with. For me to get her video, because I need her video. I just, it's not just going to be me on there, right? I think Zoom might be the way to go. Yeah. No, what I would do is that she would mute the second thing. So like Zoom, she would have to mute that and have speakers off. So that's only transmitting video, which I think you can do. And yeah, it's gotta be Zoom, because we can't mute Discord, because that would be weird, because everyone is going to be in there. Well, not everyone, but like that's where folks are going to be, right? To come and go. No, See, our weather is, it's nice enough to have the window open, but it's cold enough that it triggers the heat. So I will be right back. One sec. I gotta turn off the heat. I'm not paying to heat the outdoors, as my mom would say. I'm not paying to heat the outside. So I'm glad that we had this discussion because I was thinking of all these different things. So I think maybe Zoom is the way to go. Also, Layla, are you familiar with Brio? Because I'm trying to get Zortz to drink this stuff. Brio. B-R-I-O. It's supposed to cure everything. Except it's not curing me. So I let my boys have like about this much, and I said, listen, when I first had this stuff, it was terrible. But now, I don't know. I just can't get enough of it. It's amazing. So I let them have like a little teeny tiny bit. And I'm just looking at their faces because I know that because like they don't know what it tastes like, right? Like they think it's like Coke. It's like, no, it's not Coke. It's just different. It's like, it's not root beer. It's just like this. It's different. It's just Brio. Do you think it will cure Zortz? I don't know. I don't know if anybody can cure Zortz. Zortz is an enigma. Incurable. So I took a look at their faces because I knew that their initial reaction were going to be like, whoa, and their faces were like, I don't like it. I'm like, all right, I'll toss it. It's fine. And I said to them, I was exactly the same way. This stuff's disgusting. But then within like a year or so, yeah, I was like, yeah, can I have more? I was just thinking, because it depends on your restaurant and where you work. Like, you might be able to sell this stuff. I usually get this from the pizza store. That's the only place that I can find it. And it's not cheap because it's not easy to find. And they know that, so they raise the prices on it. Bastards. Well, they've tried things that they've never had and they like it. I can't tell you what, but because it's usually like, oh, it's no big deal. But they know it's like they need to try. If they give it a legit try and they don't like it, then they don't need to eat it. But if it's the only thing that we're going to eat for dinner, well, you finish what's up on your plate, and then next time we'll talk about not having it. Because we don't want to waste food. I hate wasting food. Actually, I'm going to type Elliot out. And then she'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she'll be like, she won't want to install something new. Because we barely get things running fine. Well, that's not enough of that stuff. Yeah, I guess I could. No. I'm not saying we might be able to make it. According to the internet, Rio might only be available in Canada. Really? Oh, I'm so sorry. I wonder if we're just missing all the spawns. Anyways, let's pop that. So, it's a Chinotto. Chinotto. Which they have other kinds that are not as sweet, but they taste terrible. Like, this stuff does not taste great, but it does taste good. It's like drinking coffee. Coffee tastes terrible, but once you're hooked on it, you think it tastes great. Right, Zorts? I mean, this is when Zorts is like, F you. Flip table. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Oh my god. Brio is a Canadian variation of the Chinotto soft drink. Chinotto is a bittersweet flavored carbonated soft drink. Originally, yeah. You want to be sweeter variant. Yep. Just like I said, Brio was created by 3 Italian immigrants. Okay, whoever. In Toronto. Oh. It's become a popular beverage in Ontario, particularly among Italian immigrants, serving as a marker of identity for the Italian diaspora in Canada. Oh, really? I didn't know that it was just really around here. Holy crap. Really? Well, that I didn't know. Well, damn, Tiber. I mean, I've had this my whole life and never really known. Alright, let's kill Dasta. Hopefully we get a no, nope. Nope. I'm not drinking that stuff. Come on, Zorts. So Zorts, what if, if there was ever a GooberCon, right? Because wasn't there talk of there being one in Ohio or something? What if I brought some? Because I would be allowed to. I mean, if I drove, right? Fly. There we go. We're gonna take the highway. Can't find a way to get it into the US. See, like, I'm pretty sure you can buy it and just bring it down. There might not be shipping options. So the pizza guy knows that I like it, and this last time when I ordered pizza, he actually gave me 2 extra ones for free. And I said, listen, just as long as you're not going to get in trouble. He's like, no, I already told the boss. I'm like, okay, because I don't want you to get in trouble just for stupid cans of pop, right? And he's like, no, yeah, I'll talk to the boss tomorrow. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, I never said it, but I'm thinking, what? He just said he talked to the boss about it, and it was okay. But now he's saying he's got to talk to, oh man, I think this guy's going to get fired over 2 friggin' cans of pop. Yeah, I had no idea. I thought it was a wider Italian thing. I didn't know it was just around here. Hey, Toronto. So great. If we were to ever move away from here, like let's say if we were to move out west or out east, we probably couldn't get it. I would lose my mind. Nothing. Well, okay, so after this one, we'll go talk to his boss, and now he's going to talk to the boss. Yeah. I just hope he doesn't get crap for it, because this is just a couple cans of pop. So, the thing is that you can't ship it because it's under pressure, right? I can buy Chinotto at our local. Who? Don't know. It actually came up with a name, so I think it's just wrong number. They'll leave a message. at our local downtown Walmart, but not Brio by brand name. Oh, see, I would say well, when they visit, have them buy. Well, see, that's what I do when people go down to Buffalo, is that I tell them, buy me cherry Coke. And they're like, okay. And they buy me like one 12 pack. I'm like, no. Buy me like 4 cases of 24 if you can. Like, I will pay you. No. And it's like, just show the guard your receipt. It's not a big deal. Like, you can do that. You're allowed to. No, it boggles my mind at times. Like, you don't have to pay anything extra. Just show the receipt. I mean, I could go down myself, but it's like an hour and a half drive from where I live. I wonder if it'd be faster to go to Cornwall versus going through Niagara Falls. God damn! What is going on with this camera? I don't know what's going on over there, but camera's gonna get punched in the face. Also, Layla, I liked how your local Cowtown Walmart. That's amazing. What is with these emotes, dude? I don't know where you get half of these things from. What is that? It's like a camera. What? Tours? Okay. Toronto Tours? Is that what that's supposed to be? Vlad and I have been trying to talk John into going to the Ohio Viking Festival at the end of June. Well, I know Zorts is nearby, right? That's a general Twitch one. Oh, so it's like Twitch tours. Welcome to Canada, sir. Do you have anything to declare? There's just 10 cases of cherry Coke. Sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the car, place your hands on the hood. So I will tell you about, I'm going to say 3 years ago, we drove down and we told the American guard that we're just here to get cherry Coke. And he's like, oh, okay, see ya. And we went through, fine. And coming back in, our guard was like, you just went down there for cherry Coke? Like, yes. And he seemed like really mad. And I was like, I got the receipts. He's like, I don't need to see the receipt. I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't want to be like rude, right? Because if you start to give any signs of anything, you're gonna get pulled. You're gonna get pulled over into secondary. And I said, well, they're in the trunk if you want to see them. Right? That's all that we got because we don't have them here like all the time. And so we were in the area. So I thought, let's just cross the border and we'll get some cherry Coke. And he's like, have a nice day, sir. And he gave me back my license and off we go. Like, holy Jesus, our freaking guards are terrible. They're like, no nonsense. Yours were like, yeah, just go. Go, you're fine. He's not committing to anything until he knows that. Well, you know, we could we could have the Viking Renaissance Fair at Zortz's house. We could have our own version of it. The Canadian, yeah, I watched some of it. The kids were the kids and my wife were watching that one. That one was just on like 2 weeks ago or something, right? Or like last week. But some of the things were like, yeah, it's true. Might be a deal breaker. Right there. I don't know. Is he a good dog? Oh, sweet. Nope. Alright, we're gonna go jump on our Horde character that we have a lockout for Blackrock Foundry. Chapman is the bestest of boys. Sorry, I every time I hear like a dog name, it goes, "Is you a good boy?" And you have to use that voice. "Is you a good boy?" Because he's a doggy, right? U.S. Had my yard space, I'd be down for it, but I live on the edge of downtown and Chapman is always welcome. He is the bestest boy. Alright, we're gonna jump to Nordane. My original character ever in World of Warcraft. The only one that doesn't use my naming scheme. Because it was before I was Stone. So did I get a voicemail? I did not. Oh. 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 See, some like they need to like send. So they sent me an email. They didn't leave a message. Basically, it was somebody from ALS Canada saying, "Hey, we know that you want to exchange your scooter. We have a 3-wheel scooter. Do you want that?" And I've already said, never, ever do I want a 3-wheel scooter. It's always got to be 4, because the 3-wheelers can tip, and that's the last thing I need. The 4-wheeler replacement that I have from them, it's terrible. Like, it chewed through half a battery walking the kids to school. Well, kids walk to school. I didn't. Oh, wait. Yes. I was like, wait, what are we doing on this character? We are going to Mythic. Right. Blackrock Foundry. Pew. However, its response time is much slower. So if you push go, it's like, okay, now you want to go. It's way too smooth. Whereas my old one was like, you push go, okay, you want to go. The battery life sucks on this one. And what was the other thing? And it's half the speed. And like, what the fuck? Like, at the top speed, my kids can outwalk me. Like, guys, come on. Like, this thing needs to be retired. Get it out of there. That's why they banned 3-wheel, what are they? ATVs? At the higher speed, those things killed a lot of people. Like, I will say that since my original scooter no longer worked, I've been at home much more often. And now that it's summertime, on the days where I don't stream, or when I'm done the stream, I mean, on a nice day, I want to go outside so I get some fresh air. And that scooter lets me go places. Like, holy cow. It had a huge range. I'd say it had a good 25 to 30 kilometer range. And the battery the battery barely would get touched. It's crazy. And it was fairly quick. It wasn't the quickest, and there was times where I'd be like, oh, I wish it was faster, but it wasn't bad. The one that I have now sucks ass, man. and I said, listen, you guys take this because I'm not going to use this. You might be able to find somebody that this is useful for, right? Just keep your eye out for a better one so that I can actually use it. Because otherwise this thing is just going to sit here and charge. Man. All right, here we go. I got to send her an email back to be like... So the person that called, it just had their name on it, not where they were calling from, right? Which I thought was odd. I figured that somebody that worked for ALS Canada, when they called out, they would be calling from like an office phone, right? Maybe they're calling from their cell phone. But that's why I'm like, who's this? I don't know who this is. Burps. There was a person in my support group that he had a scooter, kept complaining about it, that it would die. Like, it would just like halfway through a trip, dead. He's like, what the hell, man? Like, I didn't even go anywhere. All right. So I think after this, we might be done. I think so. Because I think I'm going to respond to the lady and, or guy. The person's first name is Rabia, Rabia. So I think that's a lady. Anyways, I gotta respond to her, and then I'm probably gonna hit the couch for a little bit. Come on, give me your mount. Oh, I couldn't get his... Alright, well, over here then. Over here, Billy. There we go. Get a rupture on you. Whee! Anyway, my trinket. Hello. Mount? No mount. So how many attempts is that? 56. 56. Alright. Alright, that is going to be it for today. We will be back tomorrow. Same time. Same channel. Things and stuff. And things. Hope you all... I hope you all have a great day. Enjoy your day. Yes, Layla, enjoy your day. To everyone, have a good level up safely if you're running on any challenge tunes, and good luck on getting mounts to drop that don't want to drop. And see you tomorrow, hopefully. If not, peace out. I'll see you later. And Where's my sound? Where's my voice meter? Where's my voice meter? Because I moved it because I was showing you guys stuff. There we go. Now we're gonna go Deathwing. That bastard Deathwing. All right, that's it. This is it. It's over. It's over. Wah. All right. Have a good day. I was gonna say night, but all right. See you later.